Rachel Ramsey at IT Expo Miami. I'm here with Joel Schroeder, the Director of M2M program at Inmarsat. Joel, welcome. It's great to be here.
Thank you.
With you.
Yeah.
So just to get started, please tell me a little bit about your company, what you offer.
Yeah, so Inmarsat is a mobile satellite operator. We've been in the market for over 30 years. We offer a range of services covering those that work on land, in the air, and at sea. We have moved recently into the M2M market, or I should actually clarify and say we've been in the M2M market for quite some time. A number of our products from the early days, Inmarsat C, iSat M2M, D+, are services that were used for M2M services long before they were really referred to as M2M. But more recently, over the last year, we have put an organization in place within the business to actually drive our business more into what I'd call the mainstream M2M market, competing more alongside the traditional players, the mobile network operators, who probably service the largest share of the M2M customer base. So Inmarsat offers what we call BGAN, Broadband Global Area Network, which is a 3G data network that runs over satellites. So what we offer to the M2M market is an extension of a comparable level of service that's really an extension to the kinds of services that they can get from the terrestrial operators.
Okay, great. So maybe a little more clarification is how exactly does M2M and Satellite, how do they mix and meet each other?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the fact that we operate this 3G network means that we can provide the same kind of data connectivity that an M2M customer gets from a terrestrial operator. I think where satellite comes into play and is a very unique offering is that we have ubiquitous coverage. We reach everywhere, well beyond the limitations of a terrestrial network. So if you've got a customer in, say, the transport sector or the oil and gas sector, one has assets that are moving around, and especially in emerging markets, may be frequently going in and out of coverage on terrestrial networks. So a natural solution there is a hybrid terminal sitting on a truck that's connected to the onboard computer and all of the various sensors and systems that are being monitored on that truck that might be running 90% of the time on a cellular connection, but when it roams outside of that cellular link, it's going to naturally roll over to the satellite network. So the owner of that truck, the fleet management company, all have visibility that's seamless on the operation of that vehicle. In the oil and gas sector, you'll have assets that are sitting both, I suppose, in and outside of coverage of the terrestrial networks as well. Oil wells, pipelines, and other equipment. And again, the satellite network offers sort of an extension beyond the reach of those terrestrial networks and allows those companies to have the same level of visibility on those segments of a pipeline that are flowing through more remote areas as they might have on those that can be connected very easily with a terrestrial wireless network. So I think it's a fairly simple proposition, actually. It's just to kind of make it very simple, it's a network extension.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you spoke on a panel earlier at IT Expo. So combination of that, what are some trends that you see in the M2M industry today?
Trends. Well, I mean, I think the biggest trend, and this is probably what drives the opportunity for us as a satellite operator, is that people want more and more data all the time, and they want it anywhere that they're operating. I think M2M in the past, generally about fixed installations, and customers would have visibility of those assets that they could reach with the networks that were available to them. And I think as people have gotten more and more used to having visibility of either having visibility of assets that they own or wanting access to certain services that are available through other machines, that demand has now reached a point that I guess it's kind of gone outside the boundaries of the terrestrial networks. So the satellite network enables those companies to maintain visibility of those assets anywhere that they operate.
Great. And what are you showing us at IT Expo, and what's next for your company?
Yeah, so what we're showing at the show this week, we've got our BGAN M2M terminal. BGAN M2M is a custom service focused on the M2M market that runs off of our Broadband Global Area Network. I think I mentioned that earlier. The BGAN service, the traditional service, works into many markets and is traditionally used for everything from media broadcast to basic internet access. For M2M, we've got a device that's been designed to work in very remote, unmanned environments. So if someone's deploying this device to monitor something that's hundreds or thousands of miles away from center that's monitoring that the data that's coming off a remote terminal. The satellite terminal that's attached to it has been designed to be easily managed over the air as well. So to be able to monitor the operation of the satellite device, to check the battery level if it's running off of a battery, if there are any kind of issues that require it to be powered on, powered off, all of this can be done remotely, where with a traditional terminal you would have needed somebody there in person to do that. This M2M device has been designed in a way that operates operates optimally in an unmanned environment.
Great, excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for getting with us today, and enjoy the rest of your time at IT Expo.
Thank you.